Would you consider yourself to be a visual type of person? I mean, personally, I consider myself to be a middle-aged, slightly overweight, balding fantasy stud, but that's just me. But there is nothing wrong with having to see something before you know whether you like it or not. It's like test driving a car, trying on clothes, trying different positions.
Ouch.
That's why today, we're gonna go through and show you what your fantasy football team could look like after 5 rounds this year in 2024 for all 12 draft positions. What kind of positions did you think I was talking about? What is going on, Headliner Nation? Hopefully everyone is doing well out there today, where we're gonna have some fun, because today we're going to look at a few possibilities that you could actually start your fantasy football drafts with here in 2024. I am going to go through and show you what your team could look like through 5 rounds for all 12 draft positions. I'm then gonna assign each team a hashtag name. You're then gonna subconsciously hit the like button because you love this content. And then you're gonna leave a comment down below with the hashtag of the team that you like the best. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see what hashtag is used the most this year down below in the comment section. Now, if you wanna give yourself the best opportunity to draft an absolute banger of a team in 2024, you need to get yourself a draft guide. All you gotta do is head over to tfhdraftguide.com right now and get yourself one for $21.99. Now, maybe you want one for free? You can do that as well. Head over to Underdog Fantasy or download the app, create a new account using the referral code Headliners when you do so. Once you make the initial minimum $10 deposit, you're gonna get a special pick added to your account. You're gonna get a first-time deposit bonus of up to $250 in bonus cash, and I am going to send you a free 2024 fantasy football draft guide. But because I'm a man of the people, you can also win a draft guide on this video. If this video can get over 1,000 likes, I'm gonna pick a random commenter from down below to give them a draft guide as well. But we're ramping up in the off season here. I wanna make sure a lot of people draft some great teams, so you can also head over to X or Twitter or whatever the hell you wanna call it. Head over there, follow the channel, check out the pinned tweet, and there's another opportunity for you to win a free draft guide there. Links to everything are down below in the description, but now is the time to walk through what the start of some of your fantasy football drafts could look like this year. It could also help you by determining what pick do you kind of want. That is one of the most popular questions we get each and every season. Where do I want to be in the draft, Jake? Well, this is going to be a good visual exercise for you. So without further ado, let's dive in to what the team with the first overall pick could look like. All right, and remember, we used actual projected ADP to build these teams. I didn't just come up with them on the fly. So let's look at what it could look like with the first overall pick. At the 101, it's Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers, and I really don't think that surprises anyone. How about the last pick of the second round? So 24th overall, it's a wide receiver, Drake London of the Atlanta Falcons. What kind of step forward can he take with a better quarterback and a better head coach? But what about the next pick? 301, going Nico Collins, back-to-back wide receivers here in the first 3 rounds. I don't hate it, but what kind of role is Nico going to have now that we've added Stephon Diggs to the mix and having a healthy Tank Dell there as well? Maybe I could have gone a couple different ways personally, but based off of ADP, this is what the team could look like. In the 4th round, the last pick of the 4th round, you got to get another running back at least. It's Ramondre Stevens season of the New England Patriots. He just got paid. He's going to have a role on this offense. And then we round it out with the first pick in the 5th round. It's Patrick Mahomes. I got him ranked inside my top 3. We really do not know yet exactly what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. If for some reason the dude is out there for majority of the season, I may put Mahomes up inside my top 2. So for this team right here, I gave it the hashtag Mahomes in London, mate. I have no idea how to do the accent, and I'm not even going to sit here and try again. But if you like this team, out of all 12 that we're going to go through, the hashtag that you need to leave below is hashtag Mahomes in London. All right, on to the second overall pick now in the first round. With the 102, it's CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys, one of the safest high-end wide receivers in this draft right now. How about the second round? At the 210, going with Derrick Henry. I love that start of CeeDee Lamb and Derrick Henry. Henry in Baltimore could rack up some touchdowns. Maybe his rushing totals are a little bit lower, but the touchdown upside is through the roof. In the 3rd round, the early 3rd round, it's Deebo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers. You know he's going to score his points. You know he's going to finish highly. They're just going to come in bunches and maybe be a little bit boom or bust weekly. In the fourth round, the end of the fourth is where we went quarterback with Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. And going with the stack of Lamar and Henry, you're going to rack up a ton of rushing yards. And then in the fifth round is where you get your second running back in Najee Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of people are just off the Pittsburgh bandwagon here this year. And I get it, but it really has everything to do with the offensive coordinator being Arthur Smith. Just don't forget that even though Arthur Smith tanked in Atlanta as a head coach, when he was an offensive coordinator in Tennessee, he was the man behind the Derrick Henry breakout and the A.J. Brown breakout. He is a much better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. So here we go with the second overall team. And if you like it, here's the hashtag that you need to put down below. It's hashtag Jackson5. So if this is your favorite team after the episode, that's what you need to leave down below. All right, but now we move on to the third overall pick. In the first round, it's Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins. Dude has back-to-back years of like 1,700 yards. We know he's going to go out there and put up a big number. In the second round, towards the late second round, it's Kyren Williams, running back of the Los Angeles Rams. In the third, how about Malik Nabers, the stud rookie wide receiver in New York? What does he really turn into in New York? We've seen studs go to New York and just have their careers tank before. This has nothing to do with a Nabers' talent issue. It has everything to do with whether or not Daniel Jones can get him the foosball. All right, how about the fourth round pick? We got Aaron Jones of now the Minnesota Vikings coming in as the second running back on this team. And then in the fifth round, it's DJ Moore of the Chicago Bears. He's starting to fall a little bit just because there are so many weapons in Chicago. It's not just DJ Moore. It's Keenan Allen. It's Rome Odunze. It's DeAndre Swift. And damn it, it's a rookie quarterback under center, so there is a lot of unknown. Now, when you look at this third overall pick, if this is your favorite team by the end of the video, you need to put hashtag Reek and Malik down below in the comment section. But all right, now we move on to the fourth overall pick. In the first round, it's Ja'Marr Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals. Can Joe Burrow stay healthy to supply Ja'Marr Chase all year long? In the second round, it's Jalen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins. Honestly, Chase and Waddle as your 1 and 2, slight eggplant increase if you know what I'm talking about. How about the third round is where we went Isaiah Pacheco of the Kansas City Chiefs. We know he's going to be the quote-unquote bell cow in that backfield. And if the offense is improved this year from last year, that could be a pleasant surprise in the third round. How about the fourth round? It's Alvin Kamara of the New Orleans Saints. No, he isn't maybe what he used to be in this offense, but you know Derek Carr is going to check the ball down to him quite a bit. He's in the fourth, and then the fifth round, you can round it all out with C.J. Stroud of the Houston Texans, a young quarterback that a lot of people have crazy high expectations for here in 2024. So, if you look at this team, and this one is your favorite, you need to put hashtag Waddle to the end zone down below in the comment section. But now we go over to the fifth overall pick, and this is what this team could look like in the first round. It's Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. Can he get the same volume and the same quality volume this year from whether it be Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy that he's got in the past from Kirk Cousins? That's the biggest question. That's why he's down a few spots this season. In the second round, it's Brandon Ayuk of the San Francisco 49ers. Now, he may not be a 49er forever. We've seen all the rumors on social media of how they don't want him anymore, but you gotta think they keep him and try to make another run in 2024. And the guy's been a high-end wide receiver too for years. In the second round, I don't hate it. In the third, it's Josh Jacobs, now of the Green Bay Packers. What do we really have to worry about when it comes to Josh Jacobs? Is it health? Well, he was banged up last year, but for the most part, he's overly pretty healthy. He's in a better overall offense now as well, which could lead to, yes, more touchdowns. I don't hate Josh Jacobs in the third. The fourth round, it's Kenneth Walker of the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of people overvalue Kenneth Walker. They want to draft him earlier, but if you can get him in the fourth round, Jakey likey. And then in the fifth round, it's tight end Mark Andrews. I'm not overly high on Mark Andrews this year. Dude is like the Deebo Samuel of the tight end position. He scores points, but they kind of come in bunches. He's really overpriced because of one big year in his career, but still, Mark Andrews in the fifth, not horrible. So, if this is the team that you like the most, the hashtag that you need to leave down below in the comment section is hashtag Team Blue Tent, because a lot of these guys spend some time in the blue tent. Which will then lead us to the 6th overall pick, halfway through the first round now. And in the first round at the 106, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, arguably, in my opinion, probably the safest wide receiver in the first round. Maybe doesn't have the highest ceiling, but with the offense that he plays in and the role that he has, dude is rock solid. In the second round, it's Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off a huge year. This offense overall should be better this year than it was last year. No more Calvin Ridley, but we've added in Gabe Davis and a new rookie wide receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. Shouldn't be any stacked boxes anywhere for Travis Etienne. In the third, it's Devon Achane of the Miami Dolphins, and a lot of people starting to drop him down the board a little bit. It's not a talent issue. It's really an issue of whether or not he can stay on the field and stay healthy. How about in the fourth round? It's a tight end, Trey McBride of the Arizona Cardinals, and a lot of people loving Trey McBride, myself included. The drafting of Marvin Harrison Jr. in Arizona was a good thing for Trey McBride. Now defensive attention can go elsewhere, and McBride should eat over the middle. Then in the fifth round, it's Zay Flowers of the Baltimore Ravens. He is going to be the top wide receiver target in this offense once again. They didn't add any big names this offseason to take away his target share. They drafted Devontae Walker in like the fourth round this year, but he's not going to come in and take away all the targets of Zay Flowers. He really caught fire at the end of 2023, and if he can pick up where he left off in the fifth round, he'll be a pleasant surprise. So if you're sitting out there and you're looking at this team going, you know what? This is the one that I like the most after we've gone through all 12. The hashtag that you need to put down below in the comment section is hashtag Flowers Grow in the Sun. Now, I will be the first one to admit that I really don't love that hashtag, but I had a hard time trying to come up with one for this one. We got the Sun God of Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers. It is what it is. If this is your favorite, hashtag Flowers Grow in the Sun down below. But all right, we're moving on to the 7th overall pick, and we're just flying along. In the first round, it's Bijan Robinson. So many people looking forward to what this kid could do without Arthur Smith. In the second round, going Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Evans surprised a lot of people last season, mostly people who didn't watch this show last year because we talked up Mike Evans all of the offseason of 2023. In the third round, it's Devontae Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles, a super solid low to mid wide receiver 2 each and every year. There's just so many options in that offense. He doesn't get a large enough target share to be much more than that. In the fourth round, it's Rachaad White. Dude just racks up receptions. Maybe the least efficient runner on the ground, but with his pass catching work, that's a definite plus. And then the fifth round, it's tight end Dalton Kincaid of the Buffalo Bills. We know the Bills have lost Diggs and they've lost Gabe Davis and they've brought in 64 wide receiver 2s. It feels like Dalton Kincaid could definitely be one of the mainstays in this offense that sees consistent weekly targets. You get him in the fifth. So if this is the team that you like, the hashtag that you're putting down below is hashtag MyRBsCatchBalls. Because there is no arguing the fact that Bijan Robinson and Rachaad White are going to be racking up some receptions. But all right, now let's move on to the 8th overall pick. In the first round, it's Breece Hall. He's fully healthy. He has a better quarterback, a better overall offense. The offensive line is improved. Breece Hall is starting to creep higher and higher up draft boards. In the second round, you could go Saquon Barkley. Started off with Breece Hall and Saquon Barkley. That's a pretty solid start right there for sure. Can Barkley take away some brotherly shove touches this year? Potentially. In the third, it's DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks. Can he really bounce back this season and get a little bit more volume? In the fourth round, it's Cooper Kupp. Everyone is putting Puka way up there and just forgetting about Cooper Kupp. He's coming into the season fully healthy, and we already know he's one of the favorite targets of Matthew Stafford, and we get him a couple rounds cheaper than Puka. And then in the fifth round, a quarterback, it's Anthony Richardson. Either you love him or you think he's overrated, but one thing is for sure, when he's on the field, he puts up massive fantasy points, and if he can stay healthy, could really carry this team all season long. So if this is the team that you look at and you're like, oh boy, that's the one that I want, the hashtag that you need to put down below is hashtag Cup These Balls. But enough of that. On to the 9th overall pick. In the first round, it's A.J. Brown. He had a tale of 2 seasons last season. He started off hot and he fizzled at the end. Can he keep it more consistent this year? Not a whole lot of change in the passing offense of Philadelphia, though, so really expect a lot of the same. In the second round, it's Chris Olave. He did not live up to expectations last year. Were we a year early? Now no more Michael Thomas. We know Juwan Johnson at the tight end position is already hurt. Maybe this is the year we see more Chris Olave, as long as Derek Carr can stay healthy. One of the main reasons Olave struggled was Carr was constantly hurt in 2023. In the third round, it's James Cook of the Buffalo Bills. Does he lose any touches here this year? I really don't think so. This is going to be an offense that's looking for some playmakers, and he's one of the best names that they got. In the fourth round, it's Travis Kelce. No longer a first-round pick because of what happened last season. Now, is it because he's getting old and washed? Because he's out there telling people just to shake it off, if you know what I mean. But then we go on to the fifth round, and this is where we get the second running back here. It's David Montgomery of the Detroit Lions. We know Jahmyr Gibbs is the alpha in this backfield, but David Montgomery in a Dan Campbell offense is going to touch the football each and every week. Sure, maybe we're looking at right around 15 touches, but the goal line work as well on one of the top offenses in the league. David Montgomery in the fifth is not horrible. Now, if you like this team right here, it's hashtag panic attack down below in the comment section, because all of these guys are somewhat boom or bust on a weekly basis, which could induce panic attacks throughout the season. So let me know down below if this is your favorite team. But we're moving right along. Now we're going to the 10th overall pick. In the first round, it's Puka Nacua. And you've been watching for the last couple weeks. You already know that I think this is a little bit too early for Puka. The guy basically has to have the same season that he had last year as a rookie. Back-to-back 1,500-yard years are not easy, especially given the fact that Demarcus Robinson's going to be there for a full year and have a role, the fact that Cooper Kupp is coming into the year healthy, unlike he was last year. Still a little high for me, but that's where his ADP is currently at. In the second round, it's Davante Adams. Now he's got the guard dog under center, Gardner Minshew. He was able to supply 75% catchable balls to Michael Pittman last year. If he can do that to Davante Adams this year, I will love it in the second round. In the third round, it's Joe Mixon. No, not of the Cincinnati Bengals, of the Houston Texans. One of the better offenses in the league. They brought him in to really carry that backfield and take some pressure off of CJ Stroud. In the fourth round, it's Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this guy is propped up yearly by his rushing stats. We all know that. The biggest concern with Jalen Hurts is if Saquon Barkley can get some of those goal line touchdowns that Hurts has gotten in the past. But with the amount of volume that Hurts gets on the ground, he's still going to be a top 5 option. Easy. Then in the fifth round, you could go with Tony Pollard of the Tennessee Titans. Now, obviously, a lot of people burned by Tony Pollard last year. You should have damn listened. We told you he was going to underperform. He is not a guy that can go up there and rack up 300 plus touches a year. We don't want him running between the tackles. We don't want him on the field nonstop. He's going to wear down and he's going to become more inefficient. If he can have a solid split role there with Tajay Spears, he's going to bounce back to what we saw a couple years ago and be a pleasant surprise in the fifth round. So if this is the team that you look at and you really like it, the hashtag you're throwing down below is hashtag MyPukaHurts. Now, I don't know about you, but that could have a lot of different meanings. Anyway, on to the 11th overall pick on what your team could look like. In the first round, it's Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets. This kid is getting 1,000-yard seasons with quarterbacks you've probably never even heard of before. What could he do with a healthy Aaron Rodgers? The sky is the limit for sure. He's all the way up inside the late first round now. Second round, you could come back with Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. He's entering the season healthy, which is great. One of the best offensive lines in the NFL, which is great. How about the potential play action with Anthony Richardson? It could be great. I don't hate it at all. In the third round, it's last year's tight end, Sam Laporta of the Detroit Lions. Another guy that has a solidified role in a high-scoring offense. Sure, a lot of people expect Jameson Williams to take a step forward this year. That's fine. Sam Laporta has already carved out his role, and I don't dislike it here in the third round. In the fourth, this is where we come back with Michael Pittman. A lot of people are worried that Anthony Richardson isn't going to be able to deliver as many catchable balls to Pittman this year that Minshew did last year. But it's not just that. They also added another wide receiver this offseason in Adonai Mitchell through the NFL draft. I don't dislike Michael Pittman, but his ceiling is a little bit lower. In the fifth round, it's James Conner of the Arizona Cardinals. He's set up to have a huge role. However, we know he's no Iron Man in fantasy football, and if he gets injured, he could start losing some work early to Trey Benson, so that is definitely something to pay attention to. If you find this team being the most attractive that we've talked about out of all 12 here by the end of the video, the hashtag you need to put down below is hashtag LaPortaPotty. But let's go ahead and finish it strong with the 12th overall pick in the first round. It's Jahmyr Gibbs of the Detroit Lions. He really got that role late in the season. Once he got it, dude was basically unstoppable. We expect him to start with that role in 2024. In the second round, we're going young guns here. It's Marvin Harrison Jr., stud rookie wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. The guy has walked into a situation where 130 plus targets are more than doable. In the second round, I like the risk. In the third, it's Stefon Diggs of the Houston Texans, and a lot of people have just given up completely on Stefon Diggs, but they did not bring him into Houston to not throw him the football. Everyone knows that Diggs is somewhat of a diva. They're not going to risk ruining that locker room by bringing him in and not including him weekly. I think that he's probably pretty fairly priced right now in that late third round. In the fourth, how about we go with one of the best quarterbacks in Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills? Now, Allen has been one of the consistent top finishers at the quarterback position for years. Can he do it without an actual stud wide receiver? He's got enough options there with the rushing upside as well to definitely do it again. And then the fifth round, as the running back 2 on this team, it's DeAndre Swift. Now, he was brought into Chicago, an overall Chicago offense that is pretty solid. And if Caleb Williams can move the ball through the air, we could see DeAndre Swift rack up some touches. So if this is the team you like, and you're looking at it and you're like, you know what, this is how I want to start my team, the hashtag that you need to put down below is hashtag together again, because once again, through fantasy football, we've reunited Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs. So now is your time to find your favorite. Leave those hashtags down below in the comment section, because I'm definitely looking forward to who you guys feel is the best start to your fantasy football draft. Now, don't forget to continue to hit that like button so I can give away another draft guide to somebody down below in the comment section, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show and have a great rest of your day as well, but most importantly, don't forget to do your part to make the world a better place.